I just made $10,000 on OnlyFans. How do I file my taxes? You're going to want to file a Schedule C with your personal tax return. What's a Schedule C? Schedule C is to report income or loss from a business you operated or a profession you practice as a sole proprietor. An activity qualifies as a business if your primary purpose for engaging in the activity is for income or profit, and you are involved in the activity with continuity and regularity. Does having an OnlyFans mean I'm a business owner? Pretty much, which means you can deduct expenses such as supplies, internet, and software fees.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So taxes can be really intimidating, and I know a lot of OnlyFans creators who have been, not sure of how to go about filing their taxes, whether they should get it incorporated, things like that. Well, I'm here to tell you, do not worry, okay? Because your tax mama is here to help. Not only am I a tax professional, but I also create spicy content. So I've actually done the work. And you will make money, okay? You want to keep track of expenses, income, of course. Write that down. You can write down a little yellow sheet of paper. It doesn't matter, as long as you're keeping track of it. Let's go ahead and get into the video, and I will be back at the end of the video to give my insight.
If you're an OnlyFans creator and you're doing it in the car, or you're doing it in your room, or you're doing it on vacation, that is a write-off. So you should be writing off a portion of your car. You should be writing off a portion of your rent. You should be writing off your vacation. To do all of this, you're going to either file a Schedule C or Form 1120S when you are filing your taxes. Now, the cool thing about filing these forms is that the IRS considers you a business owner, just like Amazon. And you know how Amazon gets write-offs and pay fewer taxes? You can take write-offs and pay fewer taxes as well. The most common write-offs for OnlyFans creators will be your phone, your lingerie, your clothing, your lube, your toys. If you're doing it in the room or you purchase a bed, we're writing off a portion of that as well. If you're an OnlyFans creator that needs true professional help and someone who understands your industry, we specialize in this. Head to link my profile to become a client.
If you are a OnlyFans creator or a 1099 subcontractor and you do not have an S Corp, you are fucking up your own bag. Let me show you how. All right, so for example, let's say you made $140,000 this year. You expense $40K and then your net profit is at $100,000. Well, the thing about being 1099 is you have to pay self-employment tax, which is at 15.3%. So that's 15 grand, not including the federal tax of another $18,000. So altogether, you're paying $33,000 just from having a 1099. All right, so what's the solution? We established the business as an S Corp. You take the same $40,000 deduction. That leaves you with $100,000 net profit. The only difference here is you take a $60,000 salary, which is going to give you a self-employment tax of about 9 grand. And then you set up a K1. The K1 is going to be 40K. The federal tax on that is around 12%. That's $4,800. And altogether, the tax you would owe is about 14 grand. So the tax savings from doing this is about $20,000.
I did a lot of fucking research on free subscription pages and paid subscription pages. I can tell you that they do just as well as each other, and both of them have their own fucking perks. Free page, you don't have to post such exclusive stuff on your wall because they're not paying for it. You make more money in your messages, your pay-per-view. You can send out for money instead of posting it on your page for a subscription price. If you do have a good connection with your subscribers and it is a paid page, then they're likely to keep their renew on, which means you do get that monthly money from them. But it's so easy for them to just go, nope, renew off. Bulk of your money will come from messages and pay-per-view, which means when you send something out, you put a lock on it with $1, however much you want to sell it for. They have to pay that before they can see whatever you've sent them. You can send them teasers for them to go, oh, I actually want to see that. And then you can also do tips where you can post a photo and you can say, tip me this X amount of money for this content. great to do promotions, great to do bundles. People fucking love bundles. I am currently trialing a free page and a paid page and doing just as well as each other. But do research on YouTube. There is so much shit out there that it won't. Don't do as well in. The posts are for free pages. You can only make money from posts on free pages because you can post a locked message onto your feed, whereas you can't do that on a paid page. The messages, obviously where I make the bulk of my money, and then referrals. You have a referral link, and if someone was to sign up to OnlyFans, a part of, like, when people subscribe to them, you get paid as well. But it doesn't come out of their pay. There's a whole lot of stuff from that. And then you can do streams, which I've never done before, so.
Okay, as most people know, being a spicy accountant is a pretty popular job these days, and it's a very quickly growing industry. But that means that there's a lot of people joining this industry who are not aware of what you are allowed to file on taxes. For a really long time, I was just solely a scripper, so I was able to tell the IRS how much money I had made because I was being paid in cash and then make my claims based off that. It's a little different with Lonely Hams because, as you know, if you're a part of the site, every transaction is listed and they actually send you a 1099 form. Definitely comes with much more accountability factors when it comes to tax. Normally I would use a tax service like TurboTax to do my taxes, but this year, because it's my first year also doing independent contractor work on Lonely Hams, I brought in my CPA for a little bit of help, and I wanted to pass on some of this knowledge to you guys. So I know it's kind of weird, and if you've never been an independent contractor before, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but you are your own business. That means every penny that you spend going into your business is not a personal expense, it's a business expense, and it can be written off in your taxes. And if you do Lonely Hams, that's a lot of write-offs. At the top, I'm just gonna list off a few of the things that I can remember that I've written off, and it saved me about $12,000 on my taxes. So here you go. My Wi-Fi and phone service, because I bought a computer and a laptop specifically for Lonely Hams, those are also both write-offs. All of my outfits for work, my nails, my hair, my makeup, professional photo shoots I've done, any prop I use in my house, including my stripper pole, which was very expensive, new cameras, ring lights, other lights, anything at all. And I got so excited. Of course, I forgot to mention the biggest write-offs to you guys. Because I work out of my home and part of my home is my office, I get to write off part of my rent, utilities, sewage, all of that good shit. Yeah, it's a write-off. And not to mention, if you are driving or flying out of state to go do collabs, if you are staying somewhere, an Airbnb, a hotel, if you're taking a cab somewhere, that is all write-offs. That is all you putting money back into your business. Do not forget this. As you know, as a 1099 employee, you do not get a tax refund because you haven't paid taxes the entire time you've been getting your whole lump sum of payments, right? So, you should be saving realistically 30%. That's a lot of money. So when you're able to write things off, you're taking money off of that 30%. So then by the end of it, you only owe 10% or something like that, you know? You can take off the percentage because you are your own business. And to all my baddies out there who are on Schmonly Schmans, and especially you ladies that are in the top 1%, you guys are top earners. This is very important come tax season that you are aware of all of this because they don't really list it on the website and you're already getting gypped with that 20% off the top of every transaction. So save your coin, save your receipts, save your deposits, your bank statements, everything. You're welcome.
Okay, as a tax accountant and content creator, I'm gonna give you guys some tips and tricks since it's tax season, and I know that everybody's having a hard time, including me. Tip number one is to always record all of your expenses and all of your income. Tip number two is to make sure that if you are a content creator that drives around to different places, like let's say I'm a food content creator, so I go to different fast food places to try out and review food. Always track your mileage. Always. There's apps for that. I like the old school notes, write it down sort of thing. Step number three, whenever you buy something like a camera or your phone or anything like your laptop, it's counted as an asset to the IRS, right? So if you're going to use it for years and years and years to come, keep track of that receipt, keep track of when you are going to use it, when you started putting that asset into your business, right? And then that is how they're going to calculate depreciation for that. Certain items you can take the full depreciation for the year that you're filing the tax returns. There's other items that, like a car or something, or like a house or something, you know, they do it over time. That alone will save you so much in deductions whenever you file your returns and your Schedule C. Make sure that if you are going to claim a home business office deduction, that you are allocating a certain amount of your house as an office, okay? Because the IRS wants you to have a designated spot for your office. It has to be an office room and set up like an office. It cannot just be on your couch, like you're sitting on your laptop on your couch. Another important thing to add as well is that whenever you claim the home office deduction, let's say you have multiple jobs. One is content creation, and you like sit in your office and edit your videos, and then you have a work from home job that you're a contractor, maybe you do some consulting on the side. You can only claim, if you're gonna take the standard home office deduction, you can only take up to 300 square feet of your home. So you would have to split that 300 square feet between the two businesses. So you can't take 300 plus 300, it's 300 total, and that's it. Meals and entertainment, make sure that when you do the meals and entertainment, that you keep in mind that you can only take 50% deduction. So let's say you spend $100 on food for content, right? You can only deduct 50% of that. Number 8, estimated payments. Estimated payments are when you're self-employed, whether you're a content creator or not, just a business owner, and you know that you're gonna make some sort of income, especially like a high amount of income, right? Not just 1,000 or 2,000 a year. You have to make self-estimated payments on a quarterly basis. If you do not, you will get penalized by the IRS when you file your returns. I think I've seen a penalty of up to $800. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind that there is a form on the IRS website that you can grab, save, and make your calculations. I would base it off of prior year. A lot of people don't know that. Number 12, if you are looking for a way to have your financials in order, QuickBooks and some other programs are free. I personally like QuickBooks because I use it a lot in my career job, my day-to-day job. I advise, you know, if you really want to get organize, and you know, you have a lot of activity going on as a content creator throughout the year, to pay that next basic fee membership subscription step, because it really does help a lot. Number 13, if you really want to do this on your own as far as filing your taxes, go to freetaxusa.com, because that will give you the most bang for your buck. They don't charge for most forms like TurboTax does. So for Schedule C, TurboTax will charge for that. Like student loan forms, sometimes they'll charge for that. Free Tax USA, for the most part, a lot of forms are free, except if you have a state return that you have to file, they do charge for that. For the most part, I would say 95%, it's free. It's user-friendly. I use it personally as well. Number 15, if you are gonna use an accountant or CPA, please do your research. You get what you pay for. I promise you, you get what you pay for, you get what you pay for. They don't necessarily have to be a CPA. Pretty much the difference between an accountant and CPA is that the CPA gets an extra certification to study, but as far as like job experience goes, it's pretty much the same in line. I've worked around a lot of CPAs as well. And we all have the same amount of experience. We all learn the same thing. We all learn the same thing on the job. It's just an extra certification saying that, oh, I went to school to learn more about accounting in general. It doesn't necessarily mean they're more educated in taxes than a regular accountant. So please do your research. Those H&R places are not gonna be what you're looking for if you have complicated taxes. They are helpful, but they do charge a lot. And as much as they charge, you might as well go to a CPA. Anyway, those are my tips and tricks. As a tax accountant, I do taxes as well on the side. So I'm gonna link my page below if you need some help, advice, or if you want just to outsource someone like me to do it. I'm also a content creator, so I understand both sides, and I just want to help everybody else out there as well. You definitely can do it alone, but if you just don't want, that necessary stress, then hit me up. Love y'all.
Here is a little side hustle for the girls. I don't know how legal this is. It's honestly, I think it is legal. It's just not, I don't know. Download a dating app. Any app, Tinder, Hinge, not Bumble. I don't think it would work well on Bumble. But basically, set your age preference to around maybe like 35 to like all the way up to like fucking 70 or however much it allows you, and put in one of the prompts or the bio or whatever that you that says like fucking spoil me or something, and then leave like a little bit of like a Venmo or like a PayPal or something in the bottom, and watch the money flow in even though you haven't talked to any single one of these men. And I think you could get banned. You're most definitely gonna get banned off the dating apps if you do this, but it's like if you don't plan on using it in the future, it really doesn't matter. So if you need a couple extra $100, this would work for you.
All right, so you guys kind of have a good idea of, what to expect when you start your spicy content creating business. When I first started, doing taxes in general, I didn't know, how am I going to pay self-employment tax, and what is social security tax, or Medicare tax. Do I have to pay that? What form do I use? Schedule E, C? Okay, well, I have other income. Do I add all that income? It's just, I think it's easy to get caught in that rabbit hole and try and keep figuring out, like, well, where does this number go? Okay, I figured that out. Well, hold on, I got this. Where does it? Don't think ahead. Just relax, okay? And your tax mama's got you. So the best way to learn is to break out the 1040 federal return. Get you the Schedule C, okay? And look over it while you're, maybe watching my videos. I'm telling you, the biggest advantage you can give yourself is just going to the irs.gov, pulling up those forms, so you can just have a visual. Another advantage you can give yourself is when you go on the irs.gov website, do not go in with the mindset that it's going to teach you how to prepare a tax return. The IRS, the tax law, the IRS code was not, the IRS website was not made to teach you how to like file a return. Yeah, they give you directions and instructions, but it doesn't teach you how to prepare one. They only teach you the tax law. So I remember I had a call center job and we had like 30 days of training, but when I got on the floor, I had no idea what I was doing. All that training went out the window. And I'm like, well, there's nothing that I've learned, is actually the work I'm doing I didn't learn in training. And I think with any job, you have to actually, in training, they teach you just the rules and regulations and not so much, how to do the job. That's why they have internship, you guys, so you can get that hands-on experience. So I help content creators increase their income using tax and accounting strategies so that you guys really just focus on, growing your platform and increasing your return. I do coaching calls as well. You can email me if you are interested in, growing your platform. And you don't necessarily have to be a content creator, but email me, message me. I'll leave the links below. And you guys have a wonderful day.